Check out Kayfabe Cave. We are a destination for wrestling fans. Come see our museum area featuring ring-worn memorabilia and collectibles. We carry figures, cards, belts, and much more. We take pride in bringing you the rarest and most unique meet and greet opportunities. Please follow us on social media at Kayfabe Cave. Remember, keep it kayfabe.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. I'm your host, Gene Jackson, coming to you as always from the Retro Wrestling Archive here in beautiful Gadsden, Alabama, along with producer Smokey behind the scenes, making it all happen. Right now, join me in welcoming my co-hosts. The first one up, well, he lives by the same credo that a man on this show lives by, and that is, you don't have to be ultimate to be a warrior. It's Josh Briley of P3 Radio. What's up, Josh?
You can just be the good warrior. I mean, you ain't got to be the ultimate warrior.
Mediocre warrior. Moderately decent warrior.
The mid-range warrior.
Exactly. You doing all right, man?
I am trying, Gene. How about you?
The same, man. It's like I work from home. You think life would be easier right now, but between working and all this wrestling podcast nonsense, like I don't go to bed till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm starting at 8 o'clock, and I do it all the next day. But I'm loving it, and it's the first time I've had a job where I'm not miserable. So I'm certainly not complaining. But boy, I just don't get a lot of rest. But hey, that's how it goes, right? So of course we can't do it without our other co-host here on the podcast. He's the owner, founder, and Presidente of STSpod.club, and he's also been crowned the new king of Jonesboro, Arkansas. Spoiler alert. BT, Brian Tramel. What's up, BT?
I got to get a crown if you're going to give me all this heat.
I'm leaning into that every week now. So
for some reason, when he said y'all were talking medium warrior and all this, I was thinking a wuss warrior, but the first thing I thought pussy warrior.
Oh,
that might be a total different video or something with that. That might be the name of one of those pornographic videos there. So I'm not a pussy warrior, but I'll go with wuss warrior. Did I just make us?
So we talked about recently, I don't think it was on this show, I think it was on the Power Pro show, that like YouTube's got some kind of rule about not saying something vulgar within like the first 2 minutes. That's why you'll hear Cornette get beeped in the first minute and a half, and then after that he says fuck, and you're like, why did you beep it before? But that's why. So now BT seems to unintentionally, I guess, have this thing where in the first 30 seconds of coming on screen, he says something completely inappropriate. So I don't know what exactly does to us, if it throws us out, kicks us out of the algorithm, and they don't show it to nobody or what. But thank you for that, BJ.
Sorry about that, Gene. Gene, you still are my best friend, and Josh is my favorite host of P3 Radio. Brought to you by Jolly Royal Furniture, and I already messed up enough, Smokey, so I'll make sure I get this right. 122 South Main Street in Memphis, and Spaghetti Warehouse. That's 40 West Hulling Avenue in Memphis. Real quick, I like to put over some of our shit sometimes. And Doug Masters' interview, I really did enjoy it, Gene. We had talked about it off air, but I thought it was well done. The only thing is it's funny that they don't understand how cameras work, and all we saw was a bunch of big boogers with Doug. So you just listen to the audio, but the main thing that came from that interview was that cocaine was really good in Puerto Rico.
Cocaine,
so that's what he said. It was really good. And also, I noticed instead of saying work against, he would say work for. I've never heard a worker say that, so I don't know.
It
was different, but it was good. It really was good.
I've had several people reach out and tell me that, and I was like, I didn't feel like it was on the front end, but if people are liking it, that's great. And dude, you're going to hear him on some podcasts. This mug, I see him posted on people's page all day long. Hey, this is Doug Masters. Here's my phone number, but it's his actual phone number. I want to be on your podcast. To everybody who's ever done a podcast in their life. So I don't know. He should be popping up on shows. Although he shaved that beard off that he had when I interviewed him 2 weeks ago. So he actually you can kind of tell it's Doug Masters now, because I had a couple people message me like, "Are you sure that's who that was?" I'm like, not really, but I guess like he said.
Good questions. You talked about Portland. Something he didn't say about Portland was paid more than I thought they did. If you did TV on Saturdays, you got $300, so that was pretty good. Opposite for Memphis.
I was going to say, it had to be a shock to the system when he got to Memphis.
And you work in Memphis free on Saturday mornings. So, really different. Some of the stuff he talked about Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico stories, and I heard them all the time hanging out with Dutch. But, really some inside info there, that he was saying. So I liked it. I
just picture him that first Saturday morning, like, everybody's long gone, and he's still sitting back there waiting on an envelope.
Waiting on that envelope. Yeah. Yo, Eddie, what's up?
And then Jeff Jarrett comes through. Wait all you want, boy. Ain't no envelope coming.
He had a story. Listen to that, because he had a story about how much Jeff was making back at that. At this time period. So interesting.
There's a lot of people still salty about what Jeff was making.
Yeah.
And aren't shy about telling it. But you got to be careful with what you say at the beginning of the show, man. You lose that Jolly Royal sponsorship, and producer Smokey's going to go on a rampage.
I know he's been upset. He's telling me, use the address, BT. And then we opened the show today with Corey telling us. So we're going to see some great wrestlers. Did y'all hear that? Wrestlers. So I knew it was going to be a good show, since it's going to be a bunch of great wrestlers.
So I'm guessing he's officially locked in.
Yeah.
We're 2 or 3 weeks in, Corey, as the co-host. Dave hasn't made an official announcement like, hey, replacing Michael St. John, but he's here. So
has Michael St. John ever said like what exactly happened during this? He just disappears?
I've heard quite a few interviews with him, but I've never heard him say like what led to him leaving. I know that he was either, depending on where he was at different times, he was either based out of Nashville. Eventually he ends up in Alabama, but I don't think he would have been there then. I'm figuring he's coming from Nashville. We know Corey's right there in Memphis. So, it could have been, a cost thing. I don't know. I don't know if they were paying the announcers. I mean, I'm sure Dave was getting paid through TV5. So it was just, he probably just considered that part of the job, but I don't know if like Corey and Michael St. John and guys like that got paid for TV, or if they were of the same opinion they were of the wrestlers. It'd be an interesting question to ask one of these guys sometime. I may have an in with Michael St. John now, as long as he hadn't listened to this show. I know a guy who could probably get me an interview with him. So
we have a whole list of people we want to talk to, but if you listen to this show, sorry.
Yeah, you got to try to talk to them before they show up on the show, because once they're on here and we talk about them, probably happen.
I was going to say that's the ice buster, Gene. You got to like ask them off the top. Do you listen to this USWA podcast?
No, but I'd like to. Well, before you do that,
let's do an interview first.
All I know is I wrote that article about Miss Texas. She told me she was all for coming on, doing an interview. But she said, wait a couple of weeks. And then 2 weeks later, she's like, I don't do podcasts right now.
She sent him a voicemail, said, fat boy.
I was like, I pictured that's what she was saying as she typed it. Fat boy, but I hope I don't see you out nowhere. So yeah, November 30th, 1991. Yes, we were. Corey let us know we're going to see some good wrestlers. And he noted that thanks to the USWA open door policy, it has brought in a lot of new and returning talent into the territory, where talent is being used very loosely there, I believe. They also let us know that we have some matches today with some major stakes because a few of these matches will determine who gets a future World Tag Team title opportunity against the new champions, Tennessee Stud Robert Fuller and the young gun Mike Mitchell. So that should be fun. And they also let us know that the Moondogs are going to be back in there today. So I know Josh was fired up about that. So,
yes.
Right out of the gate, we get a promo from Masters and Sawyers, as it says on their green screen behind them there.
The Bartman.
The Bartman. They got Corey and Dave calling him the Bartman now. And they say that they should automatically be getting a rematch against Robert Fuller and Mike Mitchell. But now they're being forced into this tournament or whatever we're calling this here, where they've got to earn a shot. And right out of the gate, I'm thinking, don't they have a point? Don't you automatically get a rematch?
Yeah.
They do.
That's the one thing I've seen, if anything, about the heels of 91. A lot of valid points.
Yeah.
Eric Embry, Bart Sawyers, the Bartman.
The Bartman. I mean,
they got cases to make.
Yeah. This has happened a lot where it's just like, all right, y'all ignore what the time-honored tradition in wrestling has been. And then they were almost like mocking, like Corey and Dave were almost like mocking Sawyer and Masters for not getting their rematch or for even asking for it, you know? Like, these pussies are like, nah, they got to wrestle for it. But, settle down, Dave. Damn. So I didn't grab the promo there with Masters and Sawyers because he didn't even do his grappler ripoff line this week, which was disappointing. That's kind of been the high spot. So from there, speaking of high spots, well, let's see the USWA debut of the Warrior.
Wednesday, whenever, is have that rematch, but they're going to have to earn it. That's just the way it's set up here today. Coming into the ring right now, the Warrior rolls in, and the Scorpion heads out. We are just about set to go with this opening match, a one-fall 15-minute time limit event. The Scorpion now back into the ring. Referee Frank Morrell is there, and the Warrior is set to go. As soon as we get the signal, the Scorpion nails him from behind. The Warrior up there celebrating, greeting the crowd on the... Whoa, look at that.
Yeah, big clothesline by the Warrior, Dave, and he takes the Scorpion into the rope, comes on, big drop kick on the Scorpion. The Scorpion thought he was starting to start off right by jumping the Warrior from behind. The Warrior on his feet now. Whoa, big slam on the Scorpion. This battle is supposed to be one fall, 15 minutes in time. There's a 1, 2, 3, but it's already over. Warrior, our first look at him, David.
Well, we've got about 14 minutes left out of that time limit, as a matter of fact. The Warrior didn't take much time at all. Scorpion jumped him from behind before the opening bell sounded, and then immediately turned and went to work, pinning the Scorpion, getting a nice victory here. Good display by the Warrior as he defeats the Scorpion.
Dave Brown is just bumfuzzled at what to even say about that at the end. He's good. Yeah. Man, that was a very short clip to have so much that needs to be said afterwards. All right. So it reminds me of that old joke of like, no, we're not stopping for Warrior. You've got Warrior at home, like that's the Warrior we've got at home there. All right. You lost me. Even if they kept the camera pan back enough. Jim Hellwig has never thrown a drop kick in his life. Like, as soon as he throws the drop kick, I'm like, all right. He's doing enough clotheslines to pass. All right. He's doing clotheslines. God bless, dude. Like, that splash, he landed on the shadow with every ounce of his weight. Like, he didn't get his knees under him. Like, he just drops on him. And, of course, if we want to really think this is the Warrior we're hinting that it is, he should have pressed the shadow over his freaking head, right? We didn't do that.
Well, yeah. And, dude, if anything, the Scorpion is a hell of a wrestler in my eyes now. He fucking sidewalk slammed himself. Because the Warrior had no grip on him whatsoever, and somehow the Scorpion levitated up into the right spot and slammed himself.
He willed that to happen.
It was fucking weird, dude.
Oh, it was, me being, Smart Mark and Observer, Ultimate Warrior, even I made fun of him. I had a t-shirt, Ultimate Warrior, you can buy from me. And but man, if you go back and watch, after the fact, Ultimate Warrior just had so much charisma. You can say what you want to about his interviews, which I loved. I loved the Ultimate Warrior interviews about his work rate per se, but he did what he was told, and the charisma, he was over for a reason. This guy, and when I want to say Ultimate Warrior was oozing with charisma, this guy, there's nothing there. Absolutely nothing. You said, we talked a little bit before we got started. This guy is from Larry Sharp's, same place as Bam Bam Bigelow, same place as the guy I wrestled my first 2 matches against. That was trained by, but man, you look at Bam Bam Bigelow and then look at this guy. It's like, whoa, there's just so much difference there. But yeah,
I know we usually watch these things in order. But let's just go ahead right now while we're talking about him and listen to this 16-second promo from the Warrior.
Hey, about this match.
People out there, just to let you know, you don't have to be ultimate just to be a warrior. And Tony Falk, you better lock your doors, lock your windows, because I'm the new force in the USWA, and I'm coming.
So much charisma, as I said.
Warrior. Ultimate Warrior. He's
lock your doors.
Lock your doors. Lock your windows. Yeah, I mean, the balls on these folks. You saw a moment of it there in the clip, but like, you've seen him wrestle. You see this promo where he looks like this, and this is the picture they use on the Chiron. The actual Ultimate fucking Warrior.
Hey, Gene, go back to that picture. I think his backdrop is actually Jerry Lawler artwork that I had in my house. Time. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, I think that was the same thing. But yeah, they got the balls, don't they? He doesn't even try to do the Ultimate Warrior interview. I mean, at least go full steam ahead if you're going to do it.
Just scream a bunch of nonsense, and that would be more believable than trying. He was trying to be articulate. He failed, but he was trying at least. But like, I just don't know what they're thinking, man. I know we had a lot of fun with the whole, Randy He-Man Lewis is, humongous, and the week that they showed a video of Humongous, and then Monday night they showed the Randy He-Man Lewis, I'm like, all right, they got their ticket money. For the people who thought they were going to see Sid, I see why they did it that week. But then they turned around and did it again and showed the video, then immediately showed this guy walking out of the curtain. And I was like, what are y'all even thinking? And then this shit here, I know they probably didn't have, apparently it takes like a week or two to get a picture of somebody for the Chiron, because every time a new person shows up, like fucking Dundee just had to stand next to an American flag that represented Spirit of America because they didn't have a picture of him yet. And then you just had Robert Fuller standing there by himself, and it was like, yes, Mike Mitchell, the original John Cena. You can't see him, but he's next to Fuller there if you squint. Just so... like 91 can't be over soon enough, guys. Like, I'm sorry, but it just gets harder to watch each and every week. And I remember 92 gets really good, but I'm wondering if it's like 93 where we're gonna have a couple of rough months going into it of this leftover stuff from 91 before it starts getting better, I'm afraid. But then we get a promo from Spirit of America and Black Cat. Black Cat does not translate in front of a green screen very well.
Man, that's the wrong picture. Where's that picture from last week of Black Cat? He was with White Cat in that one.
That would have been a better representation of him and Spirit of America than the actual picture of him wearing that mask.
I laughed the whole week about Black Cat and White. I even told the whole family, and they thought it was so funny. So
it was foreshadowing this week.
Yeah, but are we going to get the White Cat? Is the White Cat actually,
we start our own
Spirit. Yep. Oh, that's it, y'all. That's it.
If I hear of JT Smith at a convention, and I'm not sure if Spirit of America is still alive or not, I haven't been able to confirm that with anyone. But if I hear them being in the convention, I'm going to get that. I'm going to find a way to get a version of that picture that BT's talking about and carry it, get them to sign it so I can hang it up in here somewhere. Good Lord. So that is who Masters and Sawyers has to wrestle to try to earn their championship rematch. They're going to be taking on the Black Cat and Spirit of America. And yeah, I am going to force everybody to see a clip of that match. So this finish is something special. Check it out.
People of the Mid-South, we're in the tag team capital of the world today, Memphis. And me, Spirit of America, and my good friend, the Black Cat, we're going after the gold. We're going all the way for the tag team titles. Pretty boy and the bad boy. I don't see nothing too pretty about him. I don't see nothing too bad about him. But when we get him in the ring with my powerful, devastating clothesline, did you ever see my man go off the top rope? Oh, nobody gets up from that. And I'll tell you what, we don't care who we got to go through. The Moondogs, the tag team champions right now, you watch out because we're on our way to the top, brother. And you better believe it. We're coming at you. Yeah.
They could beat them. Well, they may have their chance. Here come their opponents here today. They're looking to win this match and get themselves a title shot.
Now held by the Tennessee Stud, Robert Fuller, and young gun Mike Mitchell. Whoa, big clothesline by Spirit of America. Takes Bartman down. That's Masters down. Yeah, that's Spirit with that big trash can.
Got the trash can, bringing it in the ring there, and setting it right in the middle.
In the middle of the ring.
Masters got him with a foot, though, and picks up Masters. Can.
Picks up that big.
Referee Frank Morrell trying to hang on to that and get it out of the ring.
Yeah, Frank Morrell, and he's struggling. Does Masters over there. Whoa, clothesline. That's staggered referee Frank Morrell.
Frank Morrell got knocked back into the ropes, too. Look at the Black Cat has got Sawyer.
Yeah, Big Sawyer up, throws him right by that trash can. He's going for that move, Dave, the Black Cat. Up on that top rope. Oh, man.
Oh, look out.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Whoa.
Sawyer moved that can out of the way so that Black Cat.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, my goodness. Hit that trash can. Sawyer's hand is raised. Masters and Sawyer have got a victory, but you saw how he did it by rolling that trash can over there. Black Cat.
So when Spirit of America brings the trash can into the ring illegally, which they have nothing to say, if Eric Embry brought a freaking 55-gallon drum in the ring, they would lose their fucking minds. They're fine with that. But then when Bartman takes advantage of the trash can being there, causing him to moonsault onto it. Of course, Corey doesn't even know the moonsault. He's like, he's going to do that big thing he does off the rope, Dave. It's cool. And he lands on the trash can. Suddenly, they're the shitheads for it. Like, once again, I'm siding with the heels on this one. You know, and God bless, if Spirit of America would have took any longer, he had to stand there with that can over his head. Poor Frank Morrell's got to hold his arms up over his head and hold the can, and they're just standing here like this for an uncomfortable amount of time before Spirit of America finally comes in and gut shots him. They'll drop the can. I mean, in theory, that was the execution of the finish was pretty good that JT Smith nailed that moonsault on top of the garbage can. But again, like, the baby faces introduced it into the match. Like, they probably should have been disqualified the minute he came in the ring with it. And why are they assholes for just taking advantage of the situation? I don't know. What did you guys think of all this?
I'm going to be honest with you. It was I wasn't as excited about this match for whatever reason. And it was a snooze fest for me up until the point of the finish. I was kind of like, God, is this going to ever fucking end? And then I see the barrel and I'm like, oh shit, what's going on here? And you know, the whole fight, and then he goes up for the moonsault, and then there's no fucking way this is going to happen. And even the crowd pop was like a different type of pop. It was like we had literally just seen an accident and this man is hurt. Like it wasn't excited, it was a scared thing, and that's good. That's a different emotion than normal, you know. And me, I was like, holy fuck. I audibly said that and rewound it, watched it again, and I was like, shit, that's what I'm talking about. That's what this son of a bitch has been missing the last 3-4 fucking weeks. More shit like that, exciting, different, and holy fuck. And like you talked about the execution, live television, usually some shit like this, you know, it can go awry. especially live TV. And all of these guys in this match were young, and they made it happen. So, man, I was like, holy fuck, way to bring me around.
Wow. I thought the exact opposite. The Black Cat, did y'all notice he was acting like TD Steele at the very front? He crouched down like TD Steele. I said, is that TD? See, I thought it might have been.
There were some fans that probably thought it was, honestly.
I wrote heat on Black Cat, thank God. Discount on multiple tassels for everybody because we have 2 wrestlers with tassels. Then I said, this might be one of the worst matches in 1991's history. Wow. So I was not a fan. I liked the finish, but it just the thing about it is JT was probably doing shit like that in Philly. Him and Sandman were wrestling they're set against each other all the time then before he was really a Sandman, but that's where they were working. I don't know, man. And also, y'all didn't, that sunset flip or whatever fucking Sawyer did. What was that? He leaped over him and then fell down. Oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah, I realized I lied. I thought I didn't intend to clip the promo, but then when I watched it, I'm like, oh shit, I got to include that. I forgot I had put it in with the same clip. But I'm like Josh, like the match was dog shit up to when the finish starts to unfold. And I liked the excitement of it, but the psychology behind it is completely, misguided. Mm-hmm. But in the end, all you're really going to remember if you're in the studio that day is JT Smith moonsaulted onto a goddamn barrel and lived to tell about it. So
the Catman, I'm sorry. Spoiler.
Catman, TD Steele in there. But I don't remember where. I may have said it when I was talking to Brandon the other night, but I was like, I bet there's some, people who fall in that category of they all look alike. Probably thought that the Black Cat was TD Steele for a variety of reasons. And so
that crouching, I was like, good God, he's gonna mess up too. So
well, there you have it. Sawyers and Masters now are double #1 contenders for the tag team titles because they're the former champs and they've won a match on top of that. So kudos to them. And then we get, much like the recycled Jimmy Valiant videos that they show, we pull out the old Moondogs video package from early 80s for sure.
83, I think.
Yeah. And so I didn't clip that. I almost did, but I didn't. But
I love that song, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they say, even though this was way before he was managing or even in the business, that's Richard Lee singing that song.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
He was it. They said he was like a guitarist or some shit. I think.
He was a music guy. Yep.
And he was just a fan, and I guess he got a relationship going because they allude to them being in other places with Richard Lee managing, and this is 91. So, yeah.
I mean, of all the hangers on or whatever who became managers, the Nate the Rats and the Kenny G's and all this shit, I think Richard Lee was the best of the bunch that kind of earned his stripes. And, as annoying as he may be, he had a talent for promos and, he was willing to do whatever. Man, he shaved his head more than once, if I remember correctly. So then we get the card for Monday night, which we will definitely talk about that a little more later. But I do want to show the Sandman promo that they aired in the middle of this to promote his upcoming match. He's going to be taking on Brian Christopher. And I do want to say this, just so everybody be pondering this as the show goes on. Monday night is going to be the Gravedigger versus the Candyman. So be thinking about that on whether that would get you to buy a ticket or not, whether it's for the right reason. That's not for me to say, but let's hear for those of you who just remember him, who haven't been watching these shows along with us, and you just remember the chain smoking, beer drinking, Metallica music entering Sandman. Well, check out this guy and if you even recognize him here.
Let me tell you, Hicks from Tennessee, a little story. I'm sitting in my backyard. I got the biggest backyard in America. The Pacific Ocean. I'm cooking some burgers, I'm cooking some chicken, and you know what? I get a little itch. So I look out over the waves, and I see this big tidal wave coming. And I grab the Little Mermaid, I grab my board, and I said, let me see where this tidal wave's gonna go. You know what? I rode that tidal wave for 2,000 miles. And I look down, and I see a couple of little crowns down there over Tennessee. I know whose one of those crowns are, and that's a dead man. And I figure I might as well find myself out who that other crown belongs to. I figured there's a little bit of talent down there, so let me hang 10 into Tennessee, baby. And they got some guys, Brian, I don't know what his name around here. They got some girls. Well, I can't even call them girls around here. I don't know what you would call these people around here. I never seen so many jean-wearing, cowboy boot-wearing women. Well, let's not call them women. Let me just tell you something. I'm here to kick some butt, and I don't care who it is. If it's a hick, if it's a hillbilly, I'm going to take care of business in Tennessee.
Somebody get that man a beer. Good Lord. Well, hey, he's leaning into the surfer gimmick. He surfed 2,000 miles down to Tennessee, and he hanged 10 into Memphis.
He hit the Mississippi River somewhere on his way and just came on in. So,
oh my goodness, I feel like that probably like if somebody wants to embarrass Sandman at like parties and stuff, somebody like, hey y'all seen this shit from Memphis? Watch this and put some of this shit on TV. I don't know. Of course, I don't have anything to embarrass the Sandman. What you gonna say, Josh?
I kind of like it. I mean, like he's supposed to be the surfer. It's almost like comic book like the way that he's leaning into it, or cartoonish in a way. But yeah, he's an obnoxious jerk. Like during this time, calling hillbillies and all this shit and that accent, that New York accent. Oh my God, that just made me want to hit him in the face with a chair. You know, like I like it. It was a good formula at least, and it's definitely something different around here. But he rode a tidal wave. Like it's fucking obnoxious, and I guess that's what he's going for. Just to be.
I agree with Josh. I didn't hate it, but it's just so. And I know what you're saying, but it's just so different. It's so different what we're used to. So
it's just the comparisons is what makes it so weird. But I do like the fact that so many times in wrestling, people get saddled with a gimmick, and it would just be some dude with a surfboard standing there, and he never really even acknowledges it. So the fact that he's like, "All right, I'm the Sandman. I'm gonna fucking go with this," and have a thematic interview. Nothing wrong with that. It's just like you just know, like 96 Sandman would cane the living shit out of 91 Sandman. And
somebody put that on a bit. There's a video game out there with both of them on there. So go ahead, let's see that.
Yeah, let's illustrate that for the show. But yeah, I do like the fact that he's playing up the gimmick, as silly as it may be. We're going to see him in action here in just a minute, but first we hear from Jerry Lawler. Now, I really didn't clip this, but here's what's ironic. Like, we've talked about a number of times, BT, like how these different shows we're doing will somehow almost intersect, you know? So last week, the Power Pro show, Lawler's on there apologizing for his match with Kane. He's like, I don't usually have to apologize, but I've got to apologize for the match with Kane. My magic didn't work. In other words, he fucked up the fireball spot. Here, as soon as it starts, I'm going, holy shit. 'Cause he's like, I got to apologize for losing the world title to Kamala last week. I don't usually have to do this. I'm like, how strange is it that in the same week we watch two different Memphis
What's
shows,
strange is I never remember him apologizing ever. I think I mentioned that on the Power Pro show. I said, this is totally different because I don't ever remember. As soon as it started, I said, fuck, what is up with apologizing Lawler? By the way, don't like apologizing Lawler. So
no. What do you think of apologetic Lawler, Josh? Is he not apologizing for the right things that he should?
He didn't seem sincere with this one.
Yeah.
He was like, it was another phoned in Lawler deal. It was like he's halfway committed. Hell, he barely leaned into the promo last week. It was like, just I'm going to do this quick 2-minute thing and I'm not even going to show up this week. Like, it was just, it's weird. It's almost like they think this is the right thing to do. And on paper, it looks good. Kamala was a big act in the 80s and stuff. And he was still over with me even at this point. But it's like they're not committed or something. Like Kamala's he fucking showed up on TV. Nothing. Yeah. And Lawler, he's like half-assed about it too. So it's just I know what he's trying to do with the apology and then trying to really get it over and all that, but like both parties aren't committed, so it's just stupid.
Yeah, I just don't like him apologizing.
It seems like to me that like Lawler is never dialed in when there's a third party booking. Like not so much when Jerry Jarrett's booking, but like if you go back to '85, that show that me and Ray Russell's been doing for 4 years. Like during the time that like Ernesto was booking, I didn't remember until we went back and watched. Like I didn't remember how half-hearted the promo was, where Lawler was getting ready to wrestle Eddie Gilbert with Jimmy Hart's Memphis career on the line, and if he beat Eddie Gilbert, Jimmy had to leave. Now, of course, Jimmy had already left to the WWF at that point, but like it was such a half-assed. Probably you could tell he just wasn't into it. And then promos after that, while Ernesto's still there, he just seems like he's phoning it in. Well, here, you talked about that Doug Masters interview, BT. Doug claims that Eric Embry's still booking even when he came to town. So, I mean, clearly Lawler has his hand in a few things, because you can't tell me that Lawler didn't book a few like super mains.
It's a gimmick, yeah.
Gimmicky stuff. But it seems like even his angles, when somebody else is booking, he's not completely dialed into things. And I mean, you have to wonder if he's almost subconsciously sabotaging this stuff just because he doesn't want another booker to come in and do well. I mean, that sounds crazy when you're half owner of the business, but some people will have a big enough ego that they would rather it fail than have to admit somebody else came in and did a good job or better than they had been doing before the other person took over. I don't know. I may be reading way too much into it, but no, I agree. This was definitely phoned in, and he does not seem to be really into this. To me, the most dialed in Lawler has seemed in recent times. He seemed the week that him and Dundee did the promo together for the tag team match, it seemed like he actually enjoyed being out there with Dundee, and he seemed like he was kind of into that promo, if you take away all the dumb like dad jokes and shit that he was doing the week before and the week after. But right now, we're going to go to the ring and see the Sandman in action against actual TD Steele. And no, TD Steele is not the Black Cat. That is
or the White Cat. He's not the White
or
Cat.
The White Cat. He is not a cat of any description. And I'm sure the Sandman wishes this was JT Smith in here instead of TD Steele. Both guys have initials for names, by the way. Maybe that's why they made him the Black Cat. Like, look, we've already got TD. We can't have JT. Put a mask on.
Or can we? Later on, he's referred to as JT.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Let's see the Sandman, as he would be called if he came to Memphis now, in action.
Steele is just walking into the picture, surfboard in hand from California. It's the Sandman.
Yeah, the Sandman here, after he's insulted everyone here. Yeah, he's still
insulting TD.
Still talking about all of the fans in there, and then, like you said, it comes out and insults TD Steele.
What do you call this? Competition, he said. There he is. The Sandman claims his whole backyard is the Pacific Ocean. He's been riding tidal waves for 2,000 miles and all of that. I wish he would quit talking and put the somebody in the crowd ready to take him on down here.
Yeah. And after he'd come on and wrestle, get him out of here, too. Let him go on and wrestle and just get on back to the dressing room. Sandman picks TD Steele up by the tights. Whoa, big suplex. What a suplex.
That's why he's dangerous. Not only can he talk, he
picked him up, Dave, and just threw him straight down.
This guy is big and powerful. Look out.
He's on top of the top rope now. Looks like he's surfing, I guess.
Looks like he's got that surf.
Whoa, man, what a boot. Right to the face of TD. Man, what a 2. Oh, 3. It's over. Sandman gets the victory, Dave.
Boy, he came off of there on that surfing move with that boot. Caught TD right in the chin.
Oh my God. That kick off the top rope. Woo! Was that what he was going for? And he just realized in midair he can't do a drop kick? Like, I don't know. God damn.
I want to say I remember him doing shit like that off of ladders in ECW, but man, it's TD. He has to be telling these people to abuse him. This is the third. This is the third incident this year where it has been like, man, this son of a bitch might not wrestle for a little bit. Like his neck and his chin went all back into his back and shit. Like it was bad. It was like an exorcism maneuver. It was bad. Like, but this is number 3. Is he that unlucky, or is he telling people really lay it in? I really like it when you lay it in. Like,
or
which one?
Or I want to say this before BT because I want to get TD. I want to get BT's thoughts on this and yours too, Josh. But it can either be that he's telling people to lay it in, or we have noticed at different times, especially in 93, but even in 91, like he comes in hot, like ready to get a bunch of offense that jobbers don't usually get in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if when they get together, if he's trying to call a bunch of spots, like, yeah, I could do this, I could do that. And they're just like, fuck that. We're going to shut this motherfucker down. And that's why he gets so roughed up.
It's possible. Him and Chris Frazier both. I mean, I'm used to jobbers taking it and everything, but good God, that kick could be a finisher for somebody today. I would love to see that as a finisher. But
a finisher in UFC if they could climb up that cage.
That was, we should have really just had him start the Sandman, start doing that. So I just
there may be
y'all
another T-shirt coming up.
We do have so much fun with Maine. When Sandman did come to Memphis Wrestling, they called him the Sandman. I just want y'all to know that. So
I didn't realize he came to Memphis.
Forgot about that too until
everybody in there. I'm sorry. Boogie Woogie Maine is still just because I'm guessing they didn't call Boogie Man the Boogie Maine, did they, when he came?
Yeah.
Did they call him the Boogie Maine?
Yes.
Holy
no. I know what.
Oh man, I was immediately fixing to go find that as soon as
it's Boogeyman. Yeah.
I don't think. Go ahead. I don't think I said it on this show. I think I said it on the ECW show with Brandon Wheeler, but I said something that's totally embarrassing, and I don't know why I'm going to repeat it right now. But that thing people say, I was today years old when I found out so and so.
I know what you're fixing to say.
I said it on the other show, though, right? I didn't say it here.
Yeah, it was on. I just listened to ECW show this morning.
So we're talking about the Sandman, and I like this whole thing kind of doesn't make sense to me. Like he's a surfer guy, but then he's called the Sandman. I'm like, how does that? And I'm like, oh, the beach. Fuck! Like in all these years, I never connected those two things until that very moment. I've never felt so stupid in all my life, and here I am retelling it on this show as well. But damn,
humorous and humorous. I give that example all the time.
We're even now. We're even.
Hey man, you got to pass with me. So
the booty man, high knee.
All right, we've all had one. Then I feel better now. We've all had ours, but God, I don't know how that got past me for that long, but it certainly did. But boy,
can I just attach myself to that question you asked, BT?
Yes.
Like, okay. If he is, trying to do like that and trying to call some spots and stuff, and every time he's getting shut down. Like I said, this is number 3. I'm the type of person, like, if it was me and I tried to do that and I was all overzealous that first time, and then I almost got my neck broke with the, suplexing me out of the ring and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that it was because you can tell, you can feel situations, and like, oh shit, they did that because I was this way. I'm not gonna let number 2 happen because I don't want to die on live TV. Like, and this motherfucker has almost died several times.
Or at the very least ended up crippled, like, ended up freaking paralyzed from like the neck down or something. Because that coming on it. I forgot I should have asked Doug Masters that about, hey, do you remember when TD Steele went on his head and it looked like clearly you didn't know what happened because you just drug his ass up in the ring and pinned him like with no regard to this man's neck whatsoever. But I guess we'll never know for sure. If anybody knows how to contact TD Steele, I would love to talk to that dude. Like, I really would. That would be a great interview for.
He has been in the ring with everybody. Jesus.
Yeah. So what'd you let Coco whoop your ass for in front of Miss Texas?
Because he sure.
No, you could say almost anybody. Why did you let Blank whip your ass?
And lose and run out of breath trying to say them all. Yeah. Man,
Coco punched him for real, and then danced in the rain on top of his ass like the log roll from Matt Bourne. Like,
yeah, he was trying out for that Big Josh gimmick with that, man. Forgot to show this. This was Lawler's background. I'm sure that's some Lawler art for sure.
Yeah,
I think of a fucking Renaissance fair every time I see that for whatever reason, and I don't like Renaissance. Oh, he's showing a nipple. Look at that, BT.
He is. He's got a little nip showing for you there, BT.
I have said, what the fuck is he wearing too many times for 1991.
Just about every time you've seen him in 1991. You know, that castle like that reminds me of that promo from 85 where Lanny Coffo is standing out in front of a castle in a suit of armor, cutting the promo. And the wind was so loud, you could tell they had to do a voiceover of the promo. It was the weirdest, just absolutely weird. But
for some reason, I just thought of what Dave said about the Gravedigger either last week or the week before, where he compares him to the sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what a fucking shitty comparison. Like, you want to build fear, and it's like, looks like the sheriff of Nottingham.
What the fuck was he
like in the break chord? Like, you sounded like a fucking nerd when you said that, Dave.
All these castles and shit they're showing, dude. I mean, I know Robin Hood was hot during this time period with the movie and Kevin Costner and shit, but damn.
Yeah, I guess he thought it was relevant, like timely to make that comparison. But I feel like if it had been Michael St. John instead of Corey, he'd be like, "Oh, I love that movie, Dave," and just like went into a spiel about that.
Have you heard the new Brian Adams single?
No.
Everything I do it for you, Davey. Next up, we get Dr. Tom Pritchard out, who looks like he is fixing to tell us about an exciting new offer he has on some term life insurance. Like, I didn't realize I haven't seen Dr. Tom in a suit, and it was very off-putting, but it's bizarre.
He went to fucking Goodwill on the way to the show and just pieced together some shit. It's like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, he didn't go to Greg's.
Amway. He's trying to sell
Greg's
Amway and shit. Like, it's a good deal.
And he's got that hand too deep in his pocket for my taste. Like he's down deep in that pocket. I don't want to see a guy talking to me with his hand that deep in his pocket. But maybe that's just
hey.
Me.
Last week he was rubbing on Tony Falk. This week he's rubbing on himself.
Well, he looks like he's about done right there. Like he's about ready to take his hand out of his pocket at this point. Looking at this.
Dude, do you know what the weirdest thing about this, other than his hand in his pocket so deep?
What's that?
No Roddy Piper detected whatsoever. He is like totally away from that in this. Like, I don't know.
I mean, once it's been made so clear that you feel the need to address it on live TV, I figure you're going out of your way. It would pop
up. It's been popping up and bleeding through a little bit, but like here, it's like zero. Almost like this is the last hurrah, and he really is leaving, and he's sad or something.
Yeah, because that's what he's out here talking. We're too busy. I was busy making fun of his suit. He's out here to talk about the fact that this week, it's him leaving town against Eric Embry's title. And of course, Embry and Tony Falk end up coming out, and they have a little back and forth there to help set that up. Then they attack. Eventually, Pritchard hit Embry, right, and things break loose. And all I remember about it is Eddie Marlin coming out with a chair because he's the star of the show. He had to come out there and settle that shit down. And so That leads us to our World Tag Team title match. The Moondogs challenging. Now, help me with this. The former tag team champions that literally just lost them to these two guys can't get a title shot without wrestling a thrown together tag team of Spirit America and Black Cat, who have never teamed in a regular tag team match in their lives. Yet the Moondogs show up after being gone for however long they've been gone. Automatic tag team title match on TV. Like, just the logic behind this shit. Like, I don't think we've talked about this before, but I do not think they appreciated how much wrestling fans really do ponder these things and how much they remember and how much stipulations and different rules in wrestling mean to them. Like, as a kid, Josh, like, would you have picked up on any of that, or would you have been like, well, the Moondogs just came back, why are they already getting a title shot? Or just been like, hey, cool, the Moondogs.
Oh, I definitely would have pondered that, and especially with the Bartman and Doug already like talking about it and bringing it to light, almost like it was a real complaint. Like, it is weird. And like, I was a super nerd, and I would have been nerding on the fact that, well, you've already been talking about how entailed this top 10 is, and Jeff Jarrett was 38, and he was so far into tag team wrestling that's the reason he was on the list so low. He hadn't been wrestling single matches. And then he's slowly climbing up, and, you know, now he's at where he's at. But if you're honing in on that end, but yeah, just, it's almost like the Moondogs had to get a title shot to even come to the territory. If say that would be a good excuse to just throw their ass up in there, but they're not acknowledging it. And you're right. Yeah, it's not tying together. It's not, the math ain't mathing.
No, yeah. And I didn't point this out earlier, but in that promo, I can't decide if Spirit of America fucked up and spoiled the tag team title change, or he was referring to two different people, because he said, we want to get a tag team title shot against the Moondogs or the tag team champions. Mm-hmm. It's like, are you saying the Moondogs or the tag team champions? Or did you just pretty much acknowledge that by the time you would get a title shot, the Moondogs would be the tag team champions? Like, it ain't pre-taped, so that would be something you just overheard, because it literally hasn't happened yet. But it may have just been, he meant we'll either get a shot at, you know, the Moondogs if they win, or the tag team champions. They couldn't remember Mike Mitchell's fucking name or something, which totally understandable. The guy's only been here a week, and guess what? He's not here this week. This young punk who comes in and immediately wins the tag team titles with Robert Fuller, and he's not here. And, well, let's take a look at some of what took place here in this whole situation.
In here.
Yeah,
look at these opponents.
Here's the manager, Richard Lee, along with the Moondogs.
I'm not sure it's nice to see you guys. I know you.
Well, let me tell you something, Dave. I know that you haven't asked for anything else, but a lot of people have asked me what the Moondogs have been up to. I've had them down in South America for the last year. They've dominated South America. They were the South American champions, heavyweight champions, from the top of San Juan, Mexico, all the way down to Argentina. We know that the Southern Heavyweight title is a stepping stone to the World's Heavyweight title. And what you're looking at right now, Dave Brown, is the next World's Heavyweight Tag Team Champions in the Moondogs. And you're
well, Richard Lee, their manager, talking about the Moondogs, South American champions.
That eye, too, Dave. I don't hope they hadn't got him in that eye. He is really...
They have worked him over a couple of times with that can opener.
Yeah, Robert Fuller says, Dave, all I have to do is come out, and if they don't pin me the 1, 2, 3, you think you can win.
Jeff Jarrett out. Jeff out to
now Jeff can't
take a look at Robert.
No. Jeff Jarrett is not supposed to be out here. Jeff Jarrett has no business being out here.
Be out
you
here.
need to take Jeff and send him back to the ring.
Jeff can stay out here. Jeff cannot get in the ring. If Jeff gets in the ring, that'll be a disqualification.
Oh, yeah, Richard Lee said Jeff Jarrett shouldn't be out here. He'll get busted open. I've had some tough bouts in that time here in the area, Dave, and today they are just manhandling Robert Fuller. They've got him busted open, going for the pin cover. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Was that a 3 count? Yeah, it was a 3 count. Yeah, referee. Yeah.
That's it.
It's a 3 count.
Yeah.
Referee Frank
The Moondogs.
Oh, man.
Your next world heavyweight champion.
And the Moondogs don't even act like they won. Referee Frank Morrell tried to hold their hand up. They just completely went out there beating Robert Fuller again. Jeff Jarrett in the ring now, trying to help out Robert Fuller.
Jeff, trying to get the Moondogs away from him, and he's done it.
Yeah. Jeff with he went for a drop kick into this. The Moondogs, boy, these guys back in the USWA, and referee Frank Morrell tried to hold their hands up and tell them they won, and they completely went after Robert again, and Jeff Jarrett jumped in the ring to try to help his partner.
The Moondogs are the new USWA World Tag Team Champions. They have, in fact, won the belts from Robert Fuller and his partner who is absent, the Young Gun.
All right, first of all, do either of you think that Richard Lee or the Moondogs could pick out South America on a globe, much less has been there for the last year? This is a very low-key Richard Lee. This isn't the Richard Lee we saw in 93. He hasn't gotten there yet. He's a few weeks away from that. So he's got a handicap. Robert Fuller's got to defend the belts in a handicap match. And that 3 count, is it 3? Is it? No? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got new change. I hate when that happens. God, I hate when that, especially in a title change. It just kills any bit of, effect that it really had, because there's that moment of, did he pin him? No? Yes? No? Oh, okay, yeah, he pinned him. Then we get this expose right off an NBC special here. I mean, this was the worst time to have put the camera over here on him blading Jeff. I couldn't get a clear screenshot, but you can actually see him with the blade between his fingers in there. I never could get it right on cue where you could see it, but there is a moment, like a brief moment, where you actually see the blade that he's using. But the Moondogs are here, and they are tag team champions in their return. How excited are y'all to see the Moondogs back?
I was very excited because I know what's coming. That's I don't know how I would have felt watching it as it happened, because I don't really remember the Moondogs at this point. Like at 9 years old, I don't remember the last time they were there. I would have been really fucking young. So, I'm excited at this age, because I know, like I said, I know what this rolls out to be. But like I said, I didn't see this episode. Yeah. So I didn't see the Moondogs until they were blossoming right there at the beginning of 92. So yeah, I'm excited now, but it's weird. Like you're talking about, it was Richard Lee's not what Richard Lee would come to be. He doesn't seem to even have the same level of charisma or anything. No. The Moondogs as well, they're vicious, but it's kind of weird not seeing them with chairs. It's kind of weird seeing them act like Abdullah the Butcher with the fucking can opener and shit. I like the concept of them using that, and it's not a chair. They're hiding it from the ref and stuff like that, but it was just really weird.
Yeah. This is not the presentation from any of the 3 that we'll be seeing just, a few months down the road. What did you think?
I thought Richard Lee was trying to be low key in that first promo, because he was trying to be a babyface before they exposed everything. But I may be wrong. Fuller's promo, all I could write was, "Where's Mitchell?" And that motherfucker done quit. He said, he got that check, that second check. And he said, I see y'all later. Bye.
But you're a champion, so I don't care.
So,
now we do have a clip of the aftermath of this here in a moment before we get to what happens after the match. But
right, and I love Robert. Man, he bleeds really good. He really does. I love all that. I love the Moondogs right now. I'll probably get tired of them sometime in 92, but man, this stuff was. And then I thought Richard turned it on there at the end, where he was. He was going crazy because they had won and everything. And then Corey, I think it was Corey, said, "Get them out of here." I just love that. Get them out of here. So.
Yeah, I mean, even when he started yelling about Jeff coming out there, though, it still didn't sound like Richard Lee from '93 to me. It's still, he's trying to get there, but I don't think he's there yet.
You're fixing to reveal something big time on this episode, and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. Here we go.
I didn't think it was this soon, but here we are.
I got my partner back now, Eddie. I came out here, and you'll have to agree. I've never told you a lie one time. I said we'd be here today to defend these titles. My partner wasn't here. I came by myself to get it done. You saw what happened to me inside the ring there. I got my partner, the best partner I ever had. I got him in my corner. Back again, Eddie. And I want these boys. And Eddie, you can do it for me. I know you can.
Great opportunity to get them back together here, Ed.
That's right,
Yes,
Dave.
sir, great
Robert,
opportunity.
Jeff,
It's the best one.
I don't approve of what went on up there in the ring, Robert. It's no doubt that they stole the belts from you.
Exactly right. So we get the rematch. You sign the rematch right there.
Come on, Eddie. You got to do this. This is important to me. You got to do this. This is a chance to get Jarrett and Fuller back again.
Sign the match.
You got it.
Said sign it.
He deserves another shot at it because they just stole him away from him.
I think you're exactly right. He does indeed. They do it.
Another bloodbath, but it's going to be a Moondogs station.
Masters and Sawyer.
We won the right to defend or to take our titles back. They didn't do nothing. All they did was get the living daylights beat out of them.
You stole the belt from us in the first place. Y'all just get out of here.
We stand. We deserve a rematch for the titles.
I know y'all's match was booked, the one that would get a shot at him. All right? I will give you a match with the champion. But these guys, you'll have to admit, they just got robbed from the belt.
They ain't got sense enough to admit. I ain't got to admit nothing. And I'll tell you one thing, Eddie Marlin. Either you give us a match, or we're going to own you, your house, the whole USWA.
And let me tell you something. You don't come out here and threaten me on this program. I said they were getting the match, they're getting the match, and you will get a match later. Now, you can sue or do whatever you want to. You will get a title match, but it will be later. These guys will get the match first. That's all it is.
Wait a minute there, Mr. Dud. How about the ring's open right now? If you boys are so tough, if you got so much Tennessee fire in you, let's get in the ring. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Get back there.
Come on. They cut open and everything.
Robert's cut open like that, David.
Here that they can face that adversity, come out victorious, and if they can do it today, they get that shot at the Moondogs.
Oh, look at it.
Oh, here they come, the Moondogs.
Yeah. How come we got the ring it, Dave, and here's Richard Lee. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Dave Brown. Jeff Jarrett hit the nail on the head a while ago. He said they were ranked #1 for the world title. There's a big difference between being ranked 1 and being #1. Moondogs have already been the world champions once, Dave Brown. We're fixing to be world champions for the second time. And it's one thing to walk out going after that belt, and it's another thing to walk out leaving with that belt, and there ain't no way they'll do it.
Richard Lee, he makes some good points.
Yeah.
They've got the belts, and it's going to be...
Yeah, but now it's 4 against 2 now against Fuller and Jarrett. We need to try to get someone out here, don't we?
Yeah, I tell you
Well,
what,
they
though...
can't open it. If you can see it there. There's Richard Lee picking it up.
Lee's got
Yeah,
that
puts it in the pocket and walks off the other screen, yeah.
But here's the good thing, even with all this going on, Robert Fuller and Jeff Jarrett are the winners of this match by disqualification.
That's right.
They're going to have the shot at the Moondogs.
That's right. The Moondogs don't know what they just got themselves into. They interfered in this bout and caused Jarrett and Fuller to win by disqualification, so Jarrett and Fuller will get a chance at the belt.
You get the horse when you mess with a bulldog. You get bit when you mess with a Moondog.
Oh, here goes the King.
You're messing with the King.
Oh,
It's time to leave.
Lawler. Oh, I wish he'd got a hold of Richard Lee. Lawler picks that down. Oh, man. He almost took Bud Sawyer's head off with that one. Whoa, the King, Jerry Lawler.
Lawler out to help Fuller and Jarrett. Fuller and Jarrett get the win. We'll be back here in a moment.
4 guys, one with a steel chair, run from one guy with a plastic office chair who threw it away as soon as he came out there. Okay. So my takeaway from this, y'all, I don't know how y'all feel. I sympathize with Masters and Sawyer again because they got fought. I mean, if you try to just verbally explain the situation, like, so there was this tag team, they were the champions, they had run their mouth and said if they lose, they'll split the team. They lost, they had to split the team up. Then he found a new partner. The new partner no-showed, so then he had to wrestle alone. He lost the titles. So now him and the partner that had to split up have just decided, fuck it, we're getting back together of their own accord. And Eddie Marlin says, well, since they got screwed, then they're getting the first match. Well, of course, Masters and Sawyer's come around like, we're the former champs, and we won a match to earn a title shot. What the fuck? Like, I don't know. It's some of that weird Memphis logic, dude. Like, I don't know. How do y'all think? How do y'all feel about the second match and all this?
It's kind of weird. I mean, like you said, Eddie Marlin straight up. He said, I know what I said. You can sue me. He literally says this. You can sue me, do whatever you want, but these guys are getting the shot, and that's just all there is to it. That's some Memphis shit. That's like some
the boss, y'all. That's the boss.
Some good old boy network shit at its finest, because Papaw is going to take care of grandson and Robert Fuller before your Yankee ass. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And in this situation, most of the time I would pull for that tactic, but like this occasion, it really does paint the picture of, well, man, they really are fucking the Bartman and Doug. You know what I think it is? I think it's fucking Doug Masters' knee pads sagging so low. He doesn't want that representing his company.
I wish you would have asked him about that. Why the fuck do you put your knee pads on your legs instead of your knees?
I've wanted to ask that to everybody who's ever done that in wrestling. Like,
oh man,
yeah.
By the way, just for the record, they split up on November the 4th. And so they're back together now. I was excited to see Jarrett and Fuller back together because I like the tag team. And you know what? I love all the Memphis logic on this one. I loved Eddie Marlin's part. I loved everything about them winning and then getting a Fuller and Mitchell's. I was going to say Fuller and Jarrett gets actually a tag team shot at the Mid-South Coliseum against the Moondogs, and I'm going down just to see that match, by the way. And a big thumbs up to Lawler. So I had a shirt just like that Lawler was wearing. And
did it have 10 buttons? And
yep. I got it at Kmart. So I think he was actually shopping at Kmart for this one. That and those jeans, those faded jeans. But yeah, big thumbs up. I'm going to turn, instead of BT the Booker over here, I'm going to be BT the Fashion.
There you go.
Fashion editor. There we go.
I've beat this drum forever. Like, my biggest criticism of Memphis has always been they're a weekly show that relies heavily, very heavily on stipulations and matches to differentiate from week to week. And they're the world's worst about making those stipulations not mean a goddamn thing. And once you do that so many times, why am I supposed to, whatever stipulation you're pushing for this week,
right?
Why am I supposed to give a shit when the one that you sold me on a month ago, the team split and shit, has just been thrown away in the course of one promo? They stopped being partners for what's been 4 weeks, and now we're back together. And then, of course, Jeff throws in a little, I'm still after your title, Jerry. But
right.
I mean, would I rather see Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller wrestle the Moondogs than Masters and Sawyer? Of course. Yeah. Anybody with a brain would. But how we got there is just troubling to me. Like, there should have been some way for them to overcome the team being split up rather than just, fuck it, we're getting back together. Or, they got screwed. Well, like, well, damn, if getting screwed cancels out a stipulation, well, you could reverse every stipulation match they've had in Memphis just about, because that's always what happens if the babyface loses. Somebody cheated. Okay, so you just it doesn't count because they cheated. Another thing I want to point out is they went ahead, even though it seems like it doesn't matter because this only existed for Jeff Jarrett. We updated the top 10. We've got the Warrior, who just showed up in number 8. Jeff Jarrett finally worked his way up from number 38 to number 10 in 3 weeks' time. And we've got the Catman, JT Smith.
Yes, Catman.
It's like mid-show, they got a cease and desist. Like goddamn Marvel Comics called them. And it was like, hey, we see what the fuck you're doing. You better change that shit right. We're in our show. I don't give a fuck. Catman.
Catman, JT Smith in there. Oh, my Lord. But yeah, this, Warrior shows up. He's had that one match against the Scorpion, number 8 contender to the World Heavyweight title. Jeff Jarrett jumped 20-something spots in 2 weeks' time.
That's a lot of asses whipped.
That is a lot of asses whipped.
He must have just been beating just a whole array of top stars on all these spot shows the last 2 weeks. I'm surprised we even showed this, since it seemed to just be, the whole point of it was just to justify Jarrett going after Lawler. But I did love how, for no reason,
where was Kamal? Oh, Kamal is the champ.
And I hadn't forgot about you either, Jerry Lawler. I still want to come after your title. Don't even bother, Jeff. Shut up. And then after all that, we get Brian Christopher versus Ken Raper. He's what anticlimactic.
And Dave will not say Ken's last name. He's just look at Ken. Like he will not say Raper.
I didn't notice that. Yeah.
And Corey was the only one that said his whole name.
Corey almost celebrates it. Like, he like puts a little oomph on it. Like, Ken Raper. And then Dave's just like, Ken, non-consensual intercourse was just tagged in. You got to be careful, Corey. We can't say that word before a certain time of the day. But Brian Christopher gets a win over Ken R. Word. And he's actually got a match on the card, as we'll hear in just a moment, Monday night. So he's starting to climb his way up the card. And, of course, we know one of the things I'm excited about for 92 is, spoiler, Brian Christopher. That is his breakout year. Like, not very far into 92, Brian Christopher really starts coming to the forefront. And I know that was all of us. That was, one of our favorite things about 93 was there was some great stuff with Brian Christopher throughout the year. And the feud, like my favorite feud from 92 that I've said forever, long before I ever met Josh, was my favorite feud of 92 is Brian Christopher against Nightmare Danny Davis. Like,
it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. There's some, I won't spoil it, but there's some strange stipulation matches that come out of that on TV. And there's one in particular.
Total house show shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that because I don't remember anything from 92.
Oh,
I don't know if I watched it. So
there's one particular, I'm itching to say it right now, but I don't want to spoil it. But my God, there's one thing in particular I did on TV that is just the odd. Like, I can see him, like you said, I can see him doing it at a spot show in a high school or something,
Yeah.
But doing it on TV is so fun. But we'll get there. So let's take our podcast commercial break, and when we come back, we'll hear the full card for Monday night.
Always wanted to be in the professional wrestling business? The EPW Wrestling Academy is now enrolling. Visit EPWWrestlingMS.com for all the details on how to make your dreams a reality. Do you have what it takes?
Hey guys, Ray Russell here. Lots of new stuff happening here at WrestleCopia. If you haven't checked out our website at WrestleCopia.com, it's a great way to keep up with the latest episodes of all of your favorite Copia programming, from the Wrestling Memory Grenade to Regional Wrestling with the Territory Talk, the Wrestling Stoop with the legendary Bob Roop, and of course all of those programs also available at your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the Copia world, all the latest news, random thoughts, fun videos, pictures, and more, make sure to join the more than 33,000 followers over at Facebook.com/Wrestling Grenade. Don't be left out. And last but definitely not least, it's what keeps the entire machine going. I'm talking about patreon.com/WrestleCopia. We appreciate your support in helping us pay the bills to keep the WrestleCopia podcast network running and enabling us to continue to bring you all the quality programming that we offer.
Hey everybody, I'm Gene Jackson, and I want to introduce you to the Retro Wrestling Archive Podcast Network and the great pro wrestling nostalgia podcasts we bring, including the Retro Wrestling Review series covering the USWA, Memphis Power Pro Wrestling, Continental Championship Wrestling, and we've just added World Class Championship Wrestling, and now ECW. Plus great interview shows like Beyond Wrestling with Rob Hell, where the stories go beyond the ring. Then there's Dangerous Conversations with the legendary Dangerous Doug Gilbert and Tommy Wildfire Rich. Plus, don't miss special live streams like Live from the Archive and Arc of an Angle. And the Retro Wrestling Archive Network is growing. We're proud to feature the affiliate shows like STS Pod, The Hang, Classic Pro Wrestling Talk, Get Your Bell Rung, and even more great shows are coming soon. But that's not all. Join the Retro Wrestling Archive Patreon for exclusive bonus content, early podcast releases, special extras, and access to a Google Drive that is absolutely busting at the seams with territory wrestling history, including our legendary Memphis Mega Folder. Podcast, interviews, watch-alongs, live streams, YouTube, Patreon, territory wrestling history. It's all waiting for you at RetroWrestlingArchive.club, where we're preserving pro wrestling history daily. Don't just remember it, relive it.
Tired of the same boring wrestling podcast? Need something with attitude, chaos, and maybe just a little cussing? That's STSPod.club, and we got it all covered. We got wrestling weirdness with WTF News Desk, 5-minute time limit, and the Southern Fried Brain of me, BT, steering the whole ship. We also have rolling into Mempho every week about the current Memphis wrestling. Interviews, hot takes, and wrestling outrageousness so wild it might get you banned in 12 states. That's right, it's SDSPod.club, or search all podcast catchers for Shooting the Shiznit, where wrestling podcasts grow chest hair. Not sure what that meant. Love my mama.
Coliseum. Opening match of the night. Going to be a grudge match now, as Doug Masters and Bart Sawyer are going to have to face Black Cat and Spirit of America. Following that, it's going to be the Gravedigger. Nate the Rat will be in his corner, and Nate will have that rat crawling around on him in there. Candyman will be going against the Gravedigger, and will be taking on Brian Christopher. Sandman has not shown much respect for the level of competition in this area so far. He may change his mind after he runs up against Brian Christopher Monday night. The Warrior will be going against Eric's driver, Tony. The Warrior we have seen already today.
Good, yeah.
It didn't take him much time. He won his match handily. He didn't. There was not much wasted motion there as he came out and took care of business. The Warrior against Falk. Then it's going to be the Southern title of Eric Embry against Tom Pritchard leaving town. If Pritchard loses, he has to leave town. If Embry loses, then Pritchard will be the Southern heavyweight champion.
Good bout there, yeah.
World Unified title on the line. I said it earlier, I still believe it. It was an upset as Kamala came in here and defeated the King. The King says he wanted to even apologize to the fans. He said, I don't do that too much, but I think I should after last week. But let me tell you this, I've got one shot at a rematch. I'm going to make the best of it and get the title back. World Unified belt on the line, Kamala against Jerry the King Lawler. And then that World Tag Team title match. Ooh. Boy, stand by for this one.
Yeah.
We just got a little preview right here with everybody in there. You saw how they were going at each other. But look at this. Robert Fuller and Jeff Jarrett, I'm so pleased to say, back together again.
Yeah.
The former world champions, in my opinion, the greatest world champions in the history of the USWA belts. The Fuller and Jarrett team will be going against the Moondogs, Spot and Spike. Manager Richard Lee will have the Moondogs in there.
You mean to tell me they didn't have a picture of Larry Latham to put up on the screen?
No,
I've been there more than any other Moondog, and they just have a picture of Spike bleeding. No, I forgot. They
Like
didn't show it until the tag stuff had all worked itself out. So that was correct on the card.
Looked like a bloody Doug Vines.
It kind of did. Yeah. It's funny to me, like some of the pictures they use for that, like
I wish they would have just put a dog on there with the moon behind them.
That would have been so much better.
Then they go against the cat.
There's another shirt coming up on the website. Man, you're killing it today, BT. You're absolutely killing it.
Moondog mane. There we go.
That picture of Lawler looked like it was one of his mugshots or something.
Yeah,
like,
maybe it was.
What are y'all doing with these
That's
pictures?
crazy what you just said, BT. The first Moondog was Moondog Mane.
Right? It was
It
literally.
was. Yes, it was. Oh.
Or was there another one before? I think there may have been another one that like the old timey guy that called himself Moondog something or another.
Yeah, but still, I didn't even put that.
Moondog Mane was the first big one.
Yeah, who was just the old dirty hippie. He wasn't the Moondog that everybody pictures now. He was, but he was like
Old
Jimmy
dirty
Valiant. He's like if Jimmy Valiant was a Moondog.
He was Moondog Mane, y'all.
Mane. But that's a good point. I totally forgot. Yeah, great. That's I hate myself for not coming up with that first, but yeah, good call. What was your least favorite part of today's show?
Got to be the Doug Masters and Bart Sawyer versus the Spirit and
one of the worst matches ever.
The Catman up until the final sequence. That match, I'm talking about, I was standing up watching it and I was fighting sleep. Like it was fucking rough.
I'm gonna second that. I mean, I wrote worst matches in 1991, so I go that was my least favorite thing.
Yeah, like Spirit of America being on my screen has been my least favorite thing since he got here. But yeah, that match particularly was rough. All right, so what was your most favorite thing from this week's show?
Going to be a two-parter, Mr. Gene. The final sequence of the worst match of 91, the moonsault on the 55-gallon Spirit drum, and
the Spirit drum. I love it.
The return. I mean, or at least the introduction to the Moondogs for me, but the return of the Moondogs and Richard Lee to Memphis. This is opening the door to some really good shit. And Richard Lee's going to have his blossification, and it's going to be great. We're going to get to see the real Richard Lee within the next couple months. It's going to be fabulous.
The little Dusty Rhodes come out there with
blossification, baby.
Man, Moondogs returning, I was really fired up. And Fuller and Jarrett going back together, and them feuding. I'm fired up about this, guys. You mentioned something twice, Josh, but this is your first look at the Moondogs. You didn't see them in the Fabs feud and everything as a kid, I guess because you were so young, right?
Yeah, I was born in 82.
Oh, okay. So this was your first introduction to the Moondogs.
Correct.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. Yeah. But yeah, that's the Moondog stuff was just awesome to me. So,
honestly, I messed up. I should have said my least favorite thing was everything to do with their fake Ultimate Warrior. We did at the beginning. I kind of forgot.
It's pretty bad that we just forgot about that because it was so bad.
We all blocked it out there. It's traumatic almost, but that kick from the Sandman off the top rope was my favorite part of this show. I rewound that like 4 times. I was like, that is the damnedest thing I've ever seen in a studio match.
If you're one of the young guys watching this, steal that move, y'all. That's a great finisher. Call it the Sandman and come. Yeah. There you go. There's a name.
Save it for somebody you don't like. But good God.
Yeah, I don't want you to shoot on anybody, but yeah, that'd be a hell of a move to finish a match with. So he put him to sleep. He just used the Sandman.
In there.
Nobody even know what the hell they're talking about. But let's go. I'm going to the Coliseum because Jarrett and Fuller against the Moondogs. What about you guys?
I'm not going to beg to go, but I mean, if I was so happened my mom showed up with tickets, I would be happy, but I'm not going to try to screw up potential other shit to get money to go.
Oh, and Kamala too. See, I was a huge Kamala fan, so Kamala, especially Kamala, was there.
Yeah, Kamala, the sexier of the two. I feel weird answering this every week because the truth of the matter is, in 1991, if it was wrestling and I had a chance to go, I'm going, hands down. It ain't even a question. But if you're asking me now, I'm like Josh. Like if somebody's like, "Hey, I got a ticket. You want to go with me?" Sure. But like if I've got to work for it and try to, beg my mom or beg my wife or whoever would be the person I'm begging the scenario, no, I'm not working hard to get to this show for sure.
I'm just, I think I'm just overexcited about Moondogs against Jarrett and Fuller, and I think maybe it has something to do with probably the best thing we've seen in the last 5 weeks on television. So I'm going. Wow.
All right, BT. How did this all play out? And do you have any other cards from the week?
I do. I have some fun stuff for this week. We talked about Thanksgiving night being just a shitty night last week, but there's some other stuff that was in the Observer, and we talked about Falk always being shit on. Okay, so Jarrett beat Falk on that show. Then Embry beat Spirit, and Falk interfered, and afterwards Spirit stuffed Falk in the garbage can. And then in the main event, I just said Jarrett, Pritchard, Spirit America beat Embry, Falk, and Gravedigger. But the loser of the fall got tarred and feathered, and it was Tony Falk.
Yeah, you got turkey-fied twice.
So you got turkey, being on Thanksgiving night, but he got put in that garbage can. He lost to Jarrett, and he got tarred and feathered. Fucking crazy. Coliseum, we do have an attendance number. We've been wondering about what are they drawing. So did you see the attendance, Gene?
No, that's why it's not in my notes because I didn't even look it up.
Y'all guess how many people showed up for the main event of Moondogs against Jarrett and Fuller?
650.
Oh, it's like the price is right now. I gotta get the closest without going over. I'm gonna say 907.
Well, fucking Josh hit it right. 650. Not good, guys. Not good.
It was literally 650?
It was 650.
Holy shit.
The Spirit of America beat the Black Cat JT Smith, or Catman JT Smith. No, I'm sorry. Spirit of America and Black Cat beat Doug Masters and Bart Sawyer. They're probably on their way out, or one of them's turning or something. Candyman, who we didn't see that promo. Thank you, Gene. Candyman beat Gravetaker. I've changed his name to Gravetaker, so I won't get in trouble for saying Digger. How's that?
Was that another thing Smokey got on you about?
Yeah, it was the other thing.
He's up top.
Yeah, he was shaking his little claw. Sandman beat Brian Christopher. The Warrior beat Tony Falk. Tony deserves a fucking medal, y'all. Tom Pritchard beat Eric Embry to win the Southern title. Loser League Town was always a big deal to me, and this just felt really just second rate. It really does. And I love those two guys. Jerry Lawler beat Kamala to regain the USWA title. And the Moondogs beat Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller to keep the USWA tag team titles, which I love that result because you got to keep them Moondogs strong. You don't want them to do that. I got a couple of shows. So the next night, Tuesday night, they were in Louisville, or as J.D. McKay and those people in Mississippi say, Louisville, saw Falk beat. Oh, Falk won. He beat Black Cat. Sandman beat Pritchard. Fuller beat Masters by DQ when Sawyer interfered. Embry beat Spirit of America when Falk interfered. And Jarrett pinned Gravetaker. So, good stuff.
Do you think that's a sign? A lot of people say, like, oh, that promoter's racist or whatever. But the fact that they put Tony Falk over on JT Smith, do you think that says
it makes
something?
You wonder because I don't know, we've seen a win from Falk and ever he beats a black guy. And maybe Falk was the white cat. I bet that was it. White Cat Tony Falk. Okay, so I got some other news, and maybe y'all can help me with this. Dundee and Travis are gone, as we noticed that we don't see them on any of the cards.
Right.
I looked up some results, and Travis ends up showing up a few months later in Global. So looks like he moved back to Texas to do Global. Now, their last match was 11/18/1991 here, but Dundee is gone in results. I can't find any results, but he ends up showing up in June of 1992 back in Japan for Wing, and then finally comes back to USWA, spoiler alert, in August of 92. So where was Dundee? Was he hurt? Was he? I mean, it's just weird not to see results.
Because I don't remember him. He didn't ever turn up in Global.
No,
I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say before he came to Global, Billy Travis went to Puerto Rico for a bit.
I didn't see any results there. Dundee might have been doing that strip club. I don't know. I just don't know.
I think that was later on.
I
was
that
like 98.
So
that's weird.
For 7 months. So.
I didn't even think about the fact that after Billy Travis was all over this show for weeks now, that he wasn't on here. No Gaylord, no Big O. Thank God.
They took the show to Texas, try to pollute that water.
I don't, but Dundee's
very well.
I just looked through all the results or the places I look for results, and he just disappears and then comes back. Travis, you can see he took a few weeks off and then he ends up in Global, and looks like he works the whole Global all the time. So I'm assuming he moved back to Texas, but he got away from that child support. But I don't know what happened to anybody. Know what Dundee was doing that time period? Y'all reach out to us. We always like fun fact. I do. I love fun facts like that. So
it's always cool when like one of the listeners like sends me a message on Facebook or whatever and go, "Hey, I heard y'all asking this question. Here's what I know about it." And I always try to give them credit when I talk about it on the show. It's funny. I don't know. Some of what we've seen today kind of made me think of this, but like coming up. So this drops on Wednesday. The retro wrestling that I'll be having the following Tuesday that will drop. My guest is Kit Parsons from That's What I Call Wrestling YouTube channel, and he covers some Memphis stuff. Like he just recently did a video on Boy Tony and that whole thing. And so on the show, we were talking about Memphis wrestling. He's like, man, Memphis wrestling's crazy because you could see the best thing you've ever seen in your life, the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, the coolest thing you've ever seen, the stupidest shit you've ever seen. And you could probably see it all on the same show.
He's so right. And you return.
Exactly
it's like to this week, last week, I'm going to tell y'all what was going through my mind. Are we real? Is this going to continue to be so shitty? I ask you, are we doing 1992? I didn't tell you why I asked that. I asked it thinking 1992 is going to be as shitty as this. And then this week brought me back up. But I was thinking, man, I don't know. And then Josh is saying a lot of stuff's happening. And you said Brian Christopher. And I'm fired up now about that. But it's one of those things where you just keep returning. I remember, I went from 78 to around this time, 90, 91, sometime when I missed 3 shows. 3 Memphis TV shows. That's how dedicated I was to Memphis wrestling. And I would go to a neighbor's house because we didn't have cable and our antenna wouldn't pick up Channel 5. I'd walk down to a neighbor's house. They gave me the key to their house when they went on vacation, so I wouldn't miss Memphis wrestling. So, I missed church to see the Jerry Law show. So I was dedicated, and I think that's part of the Memphis appeal and why people are watching our Power Pro, why they're watching this, is that you just keep coming back. Is it going to be something stupid, like you said? He said, is it going to be something so good that you remember it forever? And I think that's the appeal of a Memphis wrestling. So,
yeah, and deep down, no matter how bad it gets, at some point they're going to redeem themselves. It may not be this week. It may be it may be a few weeks. Because I know, like, we talked about it, and well before we finished 93, me and Josh had come to the conclusion we're going to jump back to 91 after 93. And I think that's kind of, I mean, I can't speak for Josh, but I know for me, those rough couple of like November, December of 93, it was a combination of the shit wasn't very good. And I think Josh has pointed out before too, all we had was the like Louisville or Evansville, whatever version.
I did a lot. I think I did some of those shows with y'all because Richard had bailed out. Yeah.
Well, he hadn't bailed out yet, but he had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
Vacations and such.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I don't even think those shows were any like it wasn't Louisville or Evansville or any of that. It was, you said at that point, it was some kind of syndication thing that they were just sending to other states and stations.
Yeah, that
it was just a jambalaya of
American
bullshit.
Something. I forget what the little. It had a little station ID thing or like network ID thing in there. But anyway, the only thing that was getting me through that shit was like, we're going to get to this Texas and Tennessee stuff coming up, and we hit 91. And I know a lot of that's good, and I really hadn't watched all of that, so I was excited about that. And now, as we've hit this rough patch, now I'm telling myself, I know there's cool shit in 92 that I'm looking forward to. And I know probably 6-7 months in, it's going to be like, God, if they do one more Moondogs versus Jeff Jarrett and anybody, I'm going to hang myself because, you know, there's going to be a lot of it, you know, but it's going to be better than I'll say this, like for Josh's sake, it's going to be better than the Moondogs versus the Harris brothers for 8 months, which is what we got in 93. It was so weird because I think all three of us, like me, Josh, and Richard, initially were like, the Moondogs, cool. Oh man, they're beating the shit out of these guys. And then you can jump ahead because one guy that I know that binge watched the shows told me, he's like, listening to you guys sour on the Moondogs a little more week by week by week was like entertaining to me. Because like first you're like, cool, the Moondogs, they're killing these guys, and they're like 10 weeks in, you guys are like, fuck the fucking Moondogs. Why won't they lose a loser leave town match? God bless. And everybody always asks me, I mean, I've literally had a dozen people message me and say, hey, what's with the Harris brothers bit with Josh? Like, is that a bit, or does he really not like them? And if so, why? I was like, if it's a joke, the joke's on me. I was like, I don't know. I was like, he's never told me that it's a bit, and he's never told me really why he doesn't like them. I said, I don't think either one of them touched him or anything. I don't think it's anything like sorted. It's just he just can't stand them. And they're like, yeah, but it seems so personal. I was like, I know, but
well, I'm that way. I'm very personal with my hates and loves. You know,
yeah.
Like I really feel them, and those son of a bitches were so goddamn horrible and rotten, and they were Bruiser Brody imitations. And if you hear about them and later in life, and then the tattoo and all that shit, fuck those pieces of shit. I really feel that way.
So you remember we read the story? I think Scott Turner brought it up the time he was set in for y'all about the one Harris brother like suing the plastic surgeon who gave him the quote unquote boob job. And, that's why they were wearing the shirts all that time, that whole big deal. Like, I think Doug Masters had said in his interview that he used to call them bitch tits. And I was like, you called the Harris brothers bitch tits to their face and got away with it? Oh yeah, they were cool. We was in Portland together. We knew each other. They were cool. But yeah, I used to call him bitch tits. I was like, my buddy Josh is gonna fucking love that. I'm like, I'm gonna have to clip that out of this show, just to show him and put it out there because he'll be all about that nickname for sure. So hey,
I gotta interject this.
Yes.
You know what they would later become? The Bruise Brothers, the Boob Brothers,
Bad Boob Brothers.
And after that surgery, it was the Bruised Boob Brothers. That's hard to say fast.
Bruised Brothers.
All right, we got to get to the plugs because I'll fuck around and try to skip them, and then BT will be like, "Hey, whoa, wait a minute,
hey, yeah."
And here we go. What's
every
shaking?
day for over 3 years? I've done the Shiznit Minute. This comes out on Wednesday. I think we're done. So no more Shiznit Minute. Just going to do some reels, and I'm working on a side project that I haven't really got everything ironed out. But the working title of this is I Love You, Dusty. So I'll tell y'all more about it as it keeps going. If you are
Spoiler,
not
it's his dedication to Dusty Wolf. I can't wait for that.
That was it. Actually, I wrote a book with Dusty Wolf.
I know you did.
You go. If you're not a Patreon member, go ahead and join, because we always talk about being in the business. Gene and I do. One of our new co-host guys is Scotty Wentz, and me and Scotty sat down and watched a match from the BT Express, and that was me. And we talked about it. I gave the whole background, everything. It was really fun, and Scotty was nice to me. Then the following week we'll do CWA with Steve Crawford, and then the next time we do Right Along Ringside with Gene and Friends. That's what it's called. For some reason, Gene's not there, but we're just his friends.
I got a different thumbnail, so it didn't say that anymore.
Oh, all right, cool beans. Then Scotty, we watch a match with Scotty. And guys, I was on some shows with Scotty, but I never remembered him being so good. So he bumps really, really good. So cool. Fun stuff. We do Rolling Into Memphis. We actually release the Power Pro audio on my feed on Mondays. On Thursdays, we do a special edition episode, and we're going to release the 10th annual Great American Bloopers and Outtakes. I do that. And so I just looked at it, and I only got like 8 or 10 minutes of bloopers, and then we're going to have some Patreon stuff on there. But I guess the reason I didn't have as many bloopers is because I got rid of one of my co-hosts. You know, he always fucked up. So I think that's
living, breathing blooper.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that was it. By the way, if you haven't listened to the last Shiznit Minute, go out of your way. I'm going to have some fun for a whole minute about a subject that I kind of stay quiet about. So, yeah, I'm ready. So we're ready for P3 Radio. 5 out of 5, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit.
5 out of 5. Love this show. And Josh will tell you why. Because it was a tab show. I love the tabs. It was called Meemaw Down. Richard started out by saying they was going to edit out something about a guy that likes big guys having sex with his wife. And, well, they didn't.
Never did.
Rapping vows. Richard, just so you know, Richard has no idea what a hippie, douchey, or a big tree is. He has no idea. Josh said they're in a circle, and Richard politely said, no, it's a half circle. Just letting you know. And then I wrote something down that was completely wrong, I know, but I said something about how to rate Will Sasso. There was an AI guy, but that wasn't what it was.
It wasn't Will Sasso.
Bob Parker was kin to Pearl, who is Meemaw. And then we get a story about Meemaw falling in the shower and Richard saving her, which they do Meemaw a lot on this. It's so funny. I was up like really early and just crying. I did learn something about pilots that they're encouraged to fart during. There you go. So that was all stories, though. All stories, good stuff. So, did you notice that when y'all was talking about a color during one of it, Richard corrected you. You corrected Richard, and he was offended that you corrected him.
That I honed in on the actual color of what we were describing.
Yeah. He was like, okay, and I was like, no. How you feel right now is how Josh feels every week, Richard. That's what I said. So,
Josh, BT is like he's like your Paul Heyman. He's your advocate whenever he's listening to the
show. Yeah.
I am Josh's advocate.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian Tramel. So I know we don't talk about new stuff on here, but I get to the Mississippi interstate and I get out to pump gas and my phone's got all these alerts on it and I click it and it says Sami Zayn has won the WWE Heavyweight Championship. My first thought was, okay, who's the Money in the Bank winner that's fixing to come down there and take the fucking belt before they go off the air? But apparently they didn't. Sami Zayn's the champion, so that's cool, I guess. I haven't watched any of it. Don't plan to. But that's an interesting turn of events. But now I saw this morning where fucking Baba Booey or whatever that guy's name is now he's the king of the ring, and now he gets to challenge either Roman Reigns or Sami Zayn for one of their two respective titles at SummerSlam. If he doesn't pick Sami Zayn, I'm going to think wrestling's fake, because why the hell would you choose to fight Roman Reigns over Sami Zayn to win a title? But
it was, I do watch it. It was a fun finish. It was fun to watch, and I was happy. I've always been a big Sami fan, so I would pick for world champion.
Yeah, but I don't watch it. My son doesn't even watch it anymore. But even he came to me this morning. He's like, a fucking mid-carder won the title. He was pissed.
I love it. Everybody's talking about it. That's what I love about it. So
yeah, I heard somebody rant in the dressing room about last night. I was like, what's wrong with El Generico being the heavyweight champion?
That's right. What's wrong with it? Love it.
And then I said to one of the mid-carders over there, I said, hey, look, you got a chance. You may win the title here eventually. I was like, not really, unless fucking what you call it? I spouted the name off the time. Now I can't think of the name of it. I was like, unless COVID happens.
Now,
what's the name of the company that owns WWE now, that owns them in UFC?
Oh, TKO.
TKO. Yeah, I was like, unless TKO buys EPW, you're not winning the title. Anyway, check out RetroWrestlingArchive.club, where you can find all our different links to everything we do, the t-shirt store, and all the different shows, the Facebook group, the Neutral Corner Lounge. We have some fun conversations over there. Make sure you check all that out, man. I've added even more shirts in the past few days, and I have a couple more. I'm going to go back and listen to this show to see what the couple of ideas was. I like the idea of a dog with a moon behind him being a Moondog shirt. That is that's pretty good. And I forget what the other one was I heard earlier. Oh, Sandman. But I'm afraid the picture that I would put on that would probably get me canceled. So I don't know if I'm going to do that.
You also need to do the black cat, white cat shirt.
Yes. Again, could get me in trouble.
Smith above it.
I cannot believe they put Catman JT Smith in the top 10. That's wild, but not the strangest thing we've seen on USWA by far. So there you go. We appreciate you joining us once again for episode number 110.
Oh, yeah.
Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. People thought, hey, this show's never going to last. Nobody's going to watch it. Well, we've done 110 of them, and we're getting ready to move into 92 pretty soon. So stick with us.
Who would think that? No,
I don't. That'd be a real asshole.
That'd be a total asshole.
Well, here's the thing. You said who would think it. Okay, everybody's got a right to think whatever they want, but you'd have to be a real fucking prick to say it out loud, tell your friend, that's a fucking stupid idea. Nobody's watching that.
You asked, I told you I was wrong. So, yeah, there we go.
There you are. Now I take great pleasure in making you watch the worst episodes when they come up. I'm like, yeah, you're eating those words now. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. And BT, you're on.
All right. I love my mama.
Step inside the Neutral Corner Lounge, grab a drink, and pull up a chair. You might know the faces, and you definitely know the names, but you don't know the real story. Welcome to Beyond Wrestling, hosted by me, Rob Helt. Every episode, we sit down with some of the biggest and even smallest personalities in the business. But there's a catch. We leave the squared circle at the door. We're not talking about angles, road trips, title runs, anything like that. We're talking about real life. I try to give you the person behind the persona. We dive into their hidden passions, their off-the-clock lives, and what actually makes them tick when the cameras stop rolling and the boots come off. If you want to know who these people are, who they are when they aren't playing a character, this is the only place to be. Subscribe to Beyond Wrestling with Rob today on YouTube or your preferred podcast platform. Find all the great content we provide here at Jackson Media Creations at RetroWrestlingArchive.club. Step into the lounge, grab a drink, we'll save you a seat.